The following is an exclusive presentation of WI Garden Media, the voice of Garden Talk Radio. As fall is rapidly approaching and soon those hot days that you are complaining about will no longer exist, and then you'll complain about the snow, there are some things in which we need to do to our lawn in order to get it prepared for fall, winter, and then the coming spring.
Yeah, absolutely. So you do want to do a fall lawn care, and a lot of people, I think, either they miss this step or they don't think about it, or
burnt out.
They're burnt out. Yeah, they're burnt out from maybe taking care of other things in their garden. Who knows? But one of the things that you want to do, and I feel like personally,
tell us how you feel.
I feel okay. So the first step is to remove the leaves, but I feel like if you don't remove the leaves, what is it going to hurt?
It will prevent the sun, because even though it is getting cool, the plants still are green and they require photosynthesis from the sun. So by having that smothered out, it's just like leaving a board on the grass for 2 or 3 weeks. When you remove that board or take it back off the grass, that grass is very yellow and some of it's already dead. It is such a dependency on the sun. So even leaving those heavy oak leaves or maple leaves or whatever it is on the ground for even a couple of weeks, if you are very concerned about having very lush lawn and not dead areas or discolored areas, that's why you need to remove the leaves. Now, we're not talking that you see one, you need to run out and get rid of it. But on a regular basis, as the leaves are falling, you see these people, and some people will joke about it. Well, half the tree still has leaves on them, and they've raked all the leaves up off the lawn, and the next morning, that many more is on the ground. It's preventing the smotherization of the grass, because the grass does require sunlight.
But I guess what I'm thinking is that if the leaves fall and then it snows, it's not the worst thing.
Well, it depends on how much effort you have put into your lawn, the requirements potentially from where you live. HOAs or certain municipalities require a certain look in a community.
Okay, that makes sense. But let's also talk about the fact that lawns are kind of ridiculous. True.
Lawns are a tremendous amount of waste of energy, chemicals, water, fill in the blank. And I forget what the statistic is that how many hundreds of thousands of gallons of chemicals Americans spray on their lawns each year.
It's a lot. And also just using the water, utilizing the water. And yes, it makes sense.
And here's the thing. When people water, you can go down any town, USA, and you can at least pick out drive by 2 or 3 houses where the sidewalk is getting just as wet as the grass.
Right. Even you and I were at I don't know where we were, but the sprinkler was basically watering the light
we stopped
post.
at a fast food restaurant, and the sprinkler was watering a lot of the foundation of the light system, and the sign, as it moved across, it very nicely cleaned the sign every about 2 minutes, because it would just and hit the sign.
It was a very clean, clear sign.
Yeah, it's one of these inter-exit signs, so that,
anyway.
Somebody clearly either didn't know their job or didn't know how to do their job.
Or they didn't care.
Didn't care because it was a restaurant, and get in and out and move on.
Right. So anyway, remove the leaves. So you want to keep cutting the lawn to the correct height.
Now, you can use your lawnmower as a mulching, and some lawnmowers are mulch, so you don't have to physically rake the leaves. You can mulch the leaves as you mow the grass.
Yes, you can do that, and that is a good idea, because a lot of those mowers do that.
Mm-hmm. And it breaks down the particles and actually helps add nutrients to the soil, and you're saving a step.
That's a good solution. But you don't want to cut it as short.
Don't cut it short. You want to leave it 2.5 to 3 inches tall, and you may think that's awful tall, but that's kind of where you want your lawn to be at to begin with, because it's got to absorb the sun in order to photosynthesize. And if you cut it too short, you're stressing the plant out and taking a longer recovery time, and you're going to potentially kill out the weaker ones. So you want to cut it high.
You do.
Higher than what you think.
You also want to cut it not too high, because it can get matted, and that could cause possible like mold, or what's the other word I'm looking
for?
Fungi.
Because it can't get the air circulating around it. It just is like a wet towel on the floor of a basement that's left there for too long. You get that musty smell.
Right. And that makes sense because fall can be a damp time too.
Oh, it's heavy dews. We went camping where we thought it rained, but it was just a dew that was on everything, so thick and heavy. Continued water.
Right. So you want to continue to water. So this is so that even though there's more rain, there's more dew. The dew point usually is sooner in the day than summer. You want to keep it watered, and it just helps keep it healthy, essentially.
Now, there's nothing wrong with having a nice lawn. There's ways of having a nice lawn without the maintenance, the chemicals, the high level of meticulous manicuring that some people use on their lawns. You can have a nice lawn, have a few weeds in it, make it more of a natural lawn, and be good with it.
I mean, it is. I can understand if you're going to have small children or yourself walk on that lawn a lot.
Yeah, you want to
a lot of time on
you
the
don't
lawn.
want the thistles in it.
Right. No,
yeah.
You don't want gross thistly lawn. I know
Right.
for me, I like to walk around barefoot a lot. If I'm walking on a thistly lawn, that's not enjoyable at all. So I get it. But at the same time, it is seen by many people as kind of a waste in a way when you have like that perfect manicured lawn. So you I feel like you have to kind of think about what your purpose is, and maybe perhaps having, if you have a larger yard, having a portion that is a nice lawn, and then having another portion that's maybe utilized for something else.
More natural.
Yeah.
Loosening the soil, a core aerator would be the correct tool for this. And if you choose to do this, you want to do this every couple of years. And what it does, it removes certain diameter of soil and throws it up on the soil, up on the top of the grass to allow moisture, fertilization, and hydration and air into the soil to loosen it up. And so it's not such a dense block of soil. And this can help root development as well.
I think a lot of people who have a lot like clay soil utilize this a lot too.
Also, thatching wouldn't help.
Yeah.
It wouldn't hurt either. Thatching is the removal of dead vegetation beneath the level of the grass that can also put a barrier that prevents hydration or absorption of moisture and fertilization. That fertilizer sets on top of that dead grass and material and can't get to the roots where it is needed.
Yeah, and you can thatch in the fall or the spring. So that is an option either way. You want to feed your lawn in the fall. I know that a lot of lawn experts say this. You feed your lawn in the fall. It helps, it gets those nutrients in there. And then it's something about the sugars of the grass. They absorb those nutrients.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want 24,010 is good number to go off of to feed your lawn to get it ready to go into dormancy over winter. And this is also a good time if you have areas to seed. You can seed it. You're also potentially there's probably sales at your local independent garden center on sod if you would rather go that way and sod the area instead of waiting for the seeds to germinate and do that route there. So there's a number of ways in which you can help your lawn, or if you have a dead area that continues to not want to grow very well, you can certainly figure out why, or if it's kind of in a partial shade area, and you might want to turn it into some type of landscape in which can support life in that area, such as a plant that may only like a certain amount of light that the grass is not growing. Or the composition of the soil is all messed up for whatever reason. If somebody dug a cistern there or a well or buried something or dug something up and all the soil levels are all disturbed and before you even got there and you don't realize that it's all clay on the top because they filled the hole in backwards or whatever.
Does this happen a lot?
It can. People in landscaping, whenever people are burying some type of something or another, septic tank, that would be a horrible thing to have that close to the house. But in that type of mindset that they backfill and they just throw the soil back in, somebody moves in, they don't know why that area is constantly not growing because the soil is all disturbed and out of whack.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah,
So
out of whack.
Out of whack.
Okay, so the other thing is you want to stay on schedule, something that you want to make sure you keep on top of. Fall after fall, do your lawn care, do what you need to do. You might think, oh, snow's going to be here soon. But if you do the work now, you'll have a nice, luscious lawn come spring. So with that being said, it is the time of year where we deal with canning and all sorts of fun things like freezing, preserving our food. And Walton's, we're brought to you today by Walton's Inc. At Walton's, you can get all the equipment, seasoning, and supplies to make sausage, jerky, and any other meat product your way to your high standards. You want to make snack sticks that people actually like. Walton's created meatgistics.com, an informational site to help you make the best finished product. Walton's even has their own line of meat grinders, mixers, and sausage stuffers to help you go from animal to edible. Walton's everything but the meat. You can use code GROW50 to save 10% off your orders of $50 or more at waltonsinc.com. For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.